Hello, and welcome to another edition of This Old Business Article Hour, where we specialize in explaining articles that were published before you were born. I am your host, Jonathan Carroll, and I am glad that you stayed up until 2 a.m. to watch this episode of our show. I hope that you had a great week and have not missed the show in the interim. Today we will be looking at an old paper by Archie Carroll called In Search of the Moral Manager. This article was published in Business Horizons back in March 1987. And since morals have gone completely out the door with every successive generation, this should be an interesting article for you to read. It seems that corporations in general have become the laughingstock of society, and rightly so in some situations, since some of them have really portrayed themselves as profit takers, no matter what. Many people think that business leaders today have lost all moral considerations. And when you incubate a culture of immorality in your business, well, then naturally your business will follow suit. So Archie Carroll decided to write this article, taking a closer look at the variety of managers that you could find out there, and he proposed a hypothesis that you could classify managers in 3 or 4 different categories, depending on their actions. So Mr. Carroll divided managers easily into moral and immoral. Those categories are quite easy to explain. But some others, and the author himself argues that most managers would fall in this middle category somewhere. Most managers are described as amoral, a situation where you aren't quite evil in your actions, but lack the understanding or use of moral management in your actions as a manager. These amoral managers may lack perspective in their careers, and usually there are unintentional consequences tied to this lack of experience. Too bad you can't purchase and download perspective, huh, kids? Anyways, now these amoral managers can be classified or divided still further into intentional or unintentional amoral managers. If they just don't know how to apply ethics to their management, then they probably fall into this unintentional amoral manager realm. These amoral managers are careless or inattentive to the fact that ethics have a role in everyday actions, even as a manager or not. On the other hand, intentional amoral managers, these guys choose not to apply ethics in their situations. Perhaps they think the business's decisions they make and their life decisions that they make belong in 2 different ballparks. They apply one set of rules to their everyday lives outside of the business, and then a whole nother set to their businesses. These rules, these things never mix, essentially. So that category, amoral managers, can be quite tricky to divide quite evenly, and there's probably some gray area in there, of course, as well. Now, lastly, immoral managers, on the other hand, are easily described, having what I would call an anything-goes attitude toward their work. Many examples of these kind of managers abound, where they exploit every opportunity to increase their profits. Moral managers, on the other hand, these are people that apply ethics to all aspects of their life, whether it's business or outside of business. It seems to be a much natural thing for them to do. I think the goal for everybody here is to realize that moral judgment should be incorporated into every decision for your life and for your business. If you expect ethical behavior from your peons, then you should certainly demonstrate it in your own actions as a manager. I hope that you have enjoyed the This Old Business Article Hour, and that in this few short minutes I've at least made you think about using ethical behavior in all aspects of your life. I encourage you to read this article, In Search of the Moral Manager by Archie Carroll. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next week. Goodbye.